Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Mrs. Leena Deshpande. Presently, she is handling dual responsibility as Associate Vice President HR in Bharat Forge Limited and as Head HR into two of the senior concerns of BFL, that is Kalyani Global Engineering Private Limited and Kalyani Techno Forge Limited. I request Mrs. David to kindly felicitate Mrs. Leena Deshpande, ma'am. Thank you. As we are running out of time, the last two sessions are being cancelled. That is a session by Swapnil Shukla sir and the panel discussion. I request ma'am to please start the session. She will be speaking on industry perspectives on vocational or industrial training and sponsored projects.
Good afternoon, everybody. I understand session before the lunch is always very difficult session, but I'm going to stick to the time, exactly 20 minutes. I'll take exactly 15 to 20 minutes. My topic is industry's perspective on vocational and industrial training. I represent manufacturing setup, that is Bharat Forge. It's the world's largest forging company. And since 1991, that is after economic liberalization, the company has achieved exponential growth. That is right from 150 crores turnover to 2.5 billion US dollars turnover today. We are more than 5,000 people. And in today's presentation, I would like to focus the role of industry, manufacturing sector, role of BOAT, since Board of Apprenticeship Training, they are also the partners. So what role do we expect from BOAT? That also I'm going to cover in my presentation. So presentation sequence will be, I would just like to tell you something about Bharat Forge, since there are different experiments as far as learning and training initiatives are concerned, and as far as the partnership with different institutes are concerned. So I would like to cover a little bit of Bharat Forge. Then about the Board of Apprenticeship Training, that what are their objectives and what kind of help do we expect from BOAT. Then skill development, what is the national scenario as far as vocational skills are concerned. Industry Academia partnership, how Bharat Forge has built up this partnership, that experience I would like to share with you, and efforts by Bharat Forge, and what is expected from BOAT and what is expected from industries. So in today's presentation, I'm not going to say anything what is expected from engineering colleges and what is expected from educational institutes. Perhaps the message will be clear what you need to take out of this partnership. Bharat Forge, 1961 we have started, and as I have told you, that 1991, after economic liberalization, Bharat Forge has achieved exponential growth, and that is inorganic growth, by acquiring different companies outside India. Today, we have 4 companies in Germany, 1 in UK, 1 in US, 1 in Sweden, and 1 in China. The total turnover is around 2.5 billion US dollars, and total manpower strength is 8,000 people. So it's the largest forging capacity of the world. Number 1 in axle aggregates in India, number 1 in engineering steel in India, and number 1 in Indian exporter of wheels. As I have told you, that I'm going to put forward our expectations from BOAT and what we understand about Board of Apprenticeship. That is, since 1973, the apprenticeship training of engineering degree and diploma holders was brought under the purview of Apprenticeship Act in 1961, Act of 1961. Subsequently, 1986, the apprenticeship training of 10+2 passed vocational stream candidates was also brought under the purview of Act. And the objectives that they have set, out of those objectives, I am going to put forward only 3 objectives. And these objectives are to fulfill and match any gap as far as practical or hands-on training is concerned. That is, in colleges, theoretical knowledge is imparted, information is imparted, and hands-on experience that is given in the industry, both is supposed to coordinate, communicate, and in fact play very important role as a mediator between the college and industries. That is how I understand from these 3 objectives. Since my topic also deals with vocational skills, I would like to just bring it to your notice that Vision for National Skill Development Initiative, India has set target of creating 500 million skilled people by 2022. 500 million, it's a huge number, that is 50 crores. We want to have skilled manpower. Union budget has made provision for that. That is, corpus of the fund rupees 2,500 crores is allotted, and many big initiatives government is trying to take in terms of starting vocational centers, vocational institutes, in terms of starting vocational diplomas, degrees, and increasing the number of ITIs, that is Industrial Training Institutes. MHRD, that is Ministry of HRD, they are also developing National Vocational Education Qualification Framework, that is NVEQF, and they are going to start vocational education diplomas and degrees. So, where should we be as a nation in 2022? India at 75. CII Committee on Education Skills and HRD, Mr. C.K. Prahlad, he was the chairperson, and he said that empowerment of people is really required. Bharat Forge has achieved exponential growth, I have said. It is because of our people, because of our employees, the kind of learning initiatives we have taken and empowered our people. So our chairman says the whole credit goes to my employees who have changed with the time, who have changed their qualifications, and we have such kind of learning activities that gives opportunity to the employees to achieve degrees, post-graduation, doctorate, and they become R&D person for research and development person for Bharat Forge. The plan is to have 500 million people in different skills and 200 million world-class graduates. But the scenario is that 62% of all graduates from 22,000 colleges are arts graduates. Balance 38% are in science, commerce, medical, engineering, law, management, and special subjects. So just see the percentage. Out of 38%, how many engineering graduates will be there? 300 million unemployed of employable age, they are in existence. Only 41 million have registered in employment offices, and 1,53,000 students leave every year for foreign studies. So, as I have said, I will not mention today that what the colleges are supposed to do, academic institutes they are supposed to do, But the message that we have to take, that this is national objective, training 500 million people and 200 million graduates. And if you consider this statistic is absolutely pathetic, very discouraging kind of statistic. Why educational institutes and industries, they need to collaborate, and PPP, that is public-private partnership, and other partnerships, they need to be built up, because we all know that educational institutes have been unable to update their syllabus in tune with the high-speed changes taking place in the world of technology. We have seen it in the previous presentations also, that technology is changing every day. As far as manufacturing setup is concerned, let me tell you that technology is really changing every day. And with this changing technology, are our students going to cope up? With the professors in the colleges, they are equipped with the changing technology, with the changing knowledge in their field? The shortage of appropriately skilled labor across many industries is emerging as a significant and complex challenge to India's growth and future. And so, such kind of partnerships, they are definitely required. Why I want to give Bharat Forge example? That Bharat Forge has realized the importance of partnership right in 2007, when nobody was talking in terms of PPP and partnerships, that is public-private partnership and other partnerships. We had set up one industrial training institute at Khed, and that has become the ideal ITI as far as India is concerned, that is considered as a role model. And we have started 5 trades over there. Believe me, when we talk about CSR and all, not a single candidate from this ITI Bharat Forge gets. All the candidates, they get absorbed in Sakand Industrial Belt, whereas Bharat Forge still runs this ITI. Our MOU was only for 5 years with Government of Maharashtra, but still we run, after 7 years also, we run that ITI. And our aim is that to give absolutely ideal kind of education over there. Not only ITI syllabus, but behavioral training that is required. Somebody was mentioning about the behavioral training that is given in ITIs. Yes, we do believe in that, that even ITI boys, they have to come out of that typical social concept that ITIs means temporary employees in any kind of industries. They work for 6 months, change the industry, go somewhere else. We want to change these ideas, and all ITI boys and girls, they should take pride where they are educating. If you see government ITIs, the situation is not that encouraging. So all industries, those who are industry partners here, I appeal them that partnerships means not only colleges, they have to do something and they have to improve their standards. The role of industry is absolutely important, and not in terms of what we are going to get, but as CSR, as a corporate social responsibility, one has to invest in such kind of partnerships. One unique experiment that we had done, that we had started forger and heat treater course, because we are forging industry, for the school dropout boys and 8th pass boys. That course now, it is 4th batch we are running this year with the help of Educational Institute, and practical training is given at Bharat Forge. Such type of courses, industries, they need to design to cater their need of skills and competencies. And all the colleges, educational colleges, they can be the partners. Specific colleges can be the partners as far as this particular venture is concerned. As I have told you, that we do believe in empowering people and learning initiatives. In fact, we have launched with the help of partnering different educational institutes, right from BITS Pilani, right from University of Warwick, UK, right from IIT Mumbai, and many other colleges in Maharashtra, engineering colleges in Maharashtra. So if you see this pyramid, right from the technician to higher management, everyone gets chance to elevate their educational level, their skill level, their competency level. And all these educational institutes, they are partners with us as far as enhancing the knowledge level of our employees is concerned. We create leaders within the organization, and I'm happy to share with you that those who are freshers, graduates, GETs, we have taken from different colleges in rural area. Now they are taking postgraduate education in IIT. They are our employees, but we sponsor that education 1 year at IIT and 1 year at Bharat Forge, that is second year at Bharat Forge for industry-based projects. And we are also going to give them opportunity to complete their PhD program, and that is in technical subjects. So when GET enters in our organization, we see that GET gets vertical growth. There is career path for him, and I believe that industries have major responsibility to nurture such kind of talent. This initiative, I would definitely, it's a unique initiative that we select engineering graduates, those who are studying in the last year, 1 year before. We give them offer letters and we start working on them. We start working on them means whatever skills we require, we go to the colleges, engineering colleges, and teach those skills along with university syllabus. We also train the professors from these colleges and tell them how the applicability of this knowledge works. And when professors are convinced, they are better teachers perhaps in the colleges. Not only technical skills, but we also take a lot of efforts as far as behavioral and soft skills are concerned, and these efforts are on throughout the year. And when these GETs, they come to us on the board, they are absolutely well-equipped GETs. They know our organization very well because they come to us during their summer vacation. They get industrial training over there. They get training in the college. As far as Bharat Forge skill sets are concerned, behavioral training is concerned. So when they are on the board, after 4 days induction, we just assign them different projects, mentor, and monitor their progress throughout the year. And so we call this initiative as talent pipeline initiatives, in the sense that 1 year before selection, then train the people. Again, we go to the campus 1 year before. We just select the GETs and work on them. So this is also industry's responsibility to nurture such kind of talent and take them on board as equipped GETs. Because there is no point in saying that GETs absolutely don't have communication skills. Even ITIs, they teach communication skills, but GETs don't have. We also need to do something as part of society, as part of their partner, and we give such kind of inputs. When GET is on the board, we give them outbound training program also, just to have that team spirit, because GETs come from different colleges. Along with behavioral training, such kind of programs are organized for them. And same with MCVC, since BOAT has considered them as apprentices, that is 10+2 vocational education, we take them on board and impart them training at ITIs, because let me tell you, 10+2 boys and girls vocational training, They are absolutely not equipped with the vocational skills that are required in the industries, because the kind of quality of education in 11th and 12th they go through, perhaps that is not enough, or that is not at par with the industrial standards, and we have to give them, impart them training at ITIs. There are few suggestions from our side to board. That Board of Apprenticeship Training needs to insist on quality of training. Many a times we observe that industries, they are more involved into administrative things and bureaucratic things, rather quota complete hua, nahi hua, that sort of questions are there. Then whether training is imparted, good or bad, please write it over there. So such kind of recording and such kind of reports, please don't expect from industries. We have to impart them quality education and demand quality training from industries. That these are the ideas we believe in, that such type of training needs to be imparted, and please monitor that training process. Instead of just sending the papers, uska registration nahi ho sakta just because something is missing over there. So board has to play very active role as far as quality of training in industries is concerned. And what are the areas where board can intervene? Definitely it's a different topic, and definitely if time permits, when not today, I'll discuss it with the board authorities. As HR people, many HR representatives, I think they're present here. The tragedy is that sometimes HR people, they are not aware about the functioning of Board of Apprenticeship Training. They are not aware about the government that is the initiatives the government is putting forward, or they are opening different ITIs. They are inviting industries to become partner with the ITIs. Board is also inviting that please express your thoughts, please give your suggestions as far as training of GETs is concerned. And HR sometimes I feel falls short to respond such kind of needs and such kind of demands. So that vision has to be there with HR. That information has to be there, that what is our national policy today, what kind of funds are allocated, what is the role of NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation, what is the M before the nation, and why boards are trying so hard, that is apprenticeship boards are trying so hard to enhance perhaps the quality, and why they are insisting on particular quota, or why they are insisting that particular number has to be trained in industries. So there has to be conviction, long-term commitment from HR side, and as I have told you before, that all the colleges, all the academic institutes perhaps can get the message that what they need to do if industries, they come ahead and do so many things as industry partners with them. Thank you so much. I am really thankful to the Apprenticeship Board, Pune University and Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering for giving this opportunity to express my views. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for briefing us about industry-academia partnerships. Now we fervently request Mr. N.N. Vadode to enlighten us about Board of Apprenticeship Training.
Good afternoon, friends. I know that it is a tough time to be here for this session. Actually, I think this is the last session. I hope so. Of course, we are hungry now, and I will conclude just in 10 minutes. Actually, see, basically, this Industry Institute Traction Meet is our baby, basically. Mainly, while we are acting as a mediator between the industries and institutes. Our major focus is to provide better training facilities to the students who are coming out of the engineering colleges, as well as diploma and some 10+2 courses. While doing this, we are falling short of manpower definitely. Our office, that is Board of Apprenticeship Training Western Region, we are covering Western Region, whole Western Region, that covers Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh and MP. But our office is located in Mumbai only. So from Mumbai to cover the whole area of 5 states and 2 union territories is difficult for us. Therefore, what we do, we'll have an association with the various colleges. We are having a very good tie-up with the more than 5,000 industries. And through the mediators like Pimpri-Chinchwad College of Engineering or n number of colleges are there in Maharashtra and all the other states, we percolate this idea to towards students as well as to the industries. And Industry-Institute Traction Meet is the best medium for percolating the idea of training or the scheme basically. Of course, there are so many lacunas in implementing the scheme. We are facing so many hurdles. Industries also facing so many hurdles in implementing the scheme. But still the scheme is very motivating scheme basically. It is having n number of benefits to the students, to the industries, to the other stakeholders, to the institutes. Everybody is, we are trying to balance all our stakeholders. So let us have a glimpses of the scheme basically. Board of Apprenticeship Training, we are located at Mumbai. Sion, everybody knows that Priya Chowk, where the RCF office is there. Just opposite to the RCF office, we are located. It's a Government of India organization. Minister of HRD covers this body. Ours is the autonomous body. We are having, as an autonomous body, we have developed our scheme nicely, which will suit to the industry basically. So we are having less hurdles from the Government of India basically, because as an autonomous body, we can develop our own resolutions. We can develop our own criteria for implementation. So we are having less hurdles from the Government of India as an autonomous body. Basically, this is what area of jurisdiction I said. Now what we are basically doing as a government of organization and autonomous body of Minister of HRD, we basically implement the apprenticeship training scheme, which is covered under an act that is called as Apprenticeship Training Act, Apprentices Act. Madam has given the inputs of Apprentices Act when it was started, everything she has covered. I can consider that she is a brand ambassador of BOAT rather. Everywhere, wherever she get the slot, she will definitely speak about the Board of Apprenticeship Training. So basically, our major role is to implement the act, and as a part of implementation, we have carried out number of innovative ways for the effective implementation. So as a part of implementation, we go to the industry, we survey the industry, we allocate some slots for the engineering graduates, diploma holders and 10+2 boys. And then as a part of implementation, we visit the industries, as madam said, we monitor the training also, so that the candidate should get the better quality training. So these are the basic activities we are doing. Major holder is the publicity. So we have started acting on the publicity also. We have developed 2 films, advertisement film, and very soon you will get it on the television even. Right now, as a government organization, we are having some constraints, so it is working. That advertisement film is screened on DD and local networks, DD as well as Sahyadri. But now, very soon, it will be on Zee and Star Network. First of all, almost all the industry people, they are aware of the apprenticeship training. But still, if somebody is new to the scheme, the apprenticeship training, as the first speaker of today's Mr. Hota, he told that the apprenticeship training scheme, the period of the training should be larger. Because I think he is not aware of the training module or training scheme basically. So apprenticeship training is of 1 year. So 1 year is the sufficient period to groom the graduates. And in some cases, as he said, BITS Pilani is running that sandwich courses where the candidates are going for 6 months of in-plant training. Here also in Maharashtra, there are around 32 colleges which are running this sandwich course. COEP Pune is one of the college, MIT is there, AISSM is there in Pune. They are running these sandwich courses, and these boys during their academics, during the 5th and 7th semester, they will go to the industry for 6 months of in-plant training. That training is covered under apprenticeship training. Okay, so basically the on-the-job training, it is no need of classroom activity at the industry itself. So any industry can come forward to implement the apprenticeship training scheme. So there is no need of training facilities which are available there. So it's on-the-job training. The guy, from the day one, he can be put on the shop floor. We don't have any problem in that. He can work in shift even. There is no issue in that. For night shift only, you need to take a special permission from us. And as autonomous body, we are giving the permissions. That hurdle we have crossed. Even the quota, as madam said, we are worried about the quota, because see, as she rightly said, we have to train 500 million students over the years, and by 2020 we have to cover 200 million graduate which are to be trained. So therefore we are more focused on the quota. And see, earlier normally we used to train through the scheme around 25,000 to 30,000 students every year. But now we have upgraded our targets. So this year, last year itself, we have trained around 50,000 students through this scheme in various industries. Majority are there in Pune and Mumbai because of the major industrial belt and IT industries even. But next year target will be of 1 lakh. So therefore, we are more worried about the quota, and we have allocated the quota. We will force the industries, or rather instead of forcing, we'll appeal them rather to fulfill the quota, so that the target can be achieved by 2020. So that is our concern basically. What is the need of this training? Again, the whole day we are working on that issue only, to enhance the employability. Because we know our constraint. As an academician, I know our constraint. Our colleges are having very few resources. Very few colleges like Pimpri-Chinchwad College of Engineering are having very good resources. They are having very good training facilities. They are having very good workshops, labs, and even the extracurricular activities. But it may be found in Pune, Mumbai. But when we go to the rural area, we don't get this type of facilities. So this training scheme is for them. Actually, always we appeal to the industry to go to the Tier 2 cities. Even Mr. Hota was telling, we have to change our focus from Tier 1 cities to Tier 2 cities. And that is the need of the day now. Because see, every industry is having its own limitations. Every institute is having its own limitations. So in Pune, we have saturated now. So definitely we have to focus somewhere out of Pune or Mumbai to Tier 2 cities like Aurangabad. It is developing. We have started our efforts in Kolhapur, Sangli, Satara even. See, basically myself, I am handling around 11 different districts of the Maharashtra. Out of that, Mumbai, Pune, Thane are the major belt. But other than that, I am area in charge for Sangli, Satara, Kolhapur, Pune, and Nagar, etc. So there also I will try to percolate this scheme. I will invite all the industries. Even we organize such type of programs like Industry Interaction Meet at rural area. Some career guidance program for the students in rural area, because there it is needed. And that time we invite faculties from Pune. Like Ravandale is one of our trained faculty. I invite him to deliver the lectures in every corner of Maharashtra rather. And he will happily come there. Of course, it's a part of his social responsibility, and everybody should take that responsibility for for the future of our youths. So this way, basically, we are working for the betterment of the students. Now, the apprenticeship training will definitely help to the students in getting the access to the world of work, basically. Because as per the Act, every industry has to implement the scheme. Every industry has to provide training to some few people as per their quota allocated. So definitely through this medium, your boys will get entry to the industry. See, of course, through placement also our candidates goes to the industry, but there are certain criteria. Like right from the beginning, everybody was telling that this criteria is there, 60% is there, GD is there. So this is possible only for the cream. But what about the students which are academically weak. So for them actually we are working. So I appeal to all the industries, along with the 60% guys or the guys who is to your expectation, you also think about these students which are academically little poor, and definitely the board will help you in assisting them or in giving training them, because this scheme, as it is helpful to the student, it will be definitely helpful to the industry also. I will come to the benefits of the industry later on, but definitely you think of this. When you recruit 60 boys through the placement, at least go for 10 boys through the scheme, so that it will help them to get better training facilities in better industries. So definitely easy access we can provide. They will get opportunity to work with the good industries, better quality of training, better technology they can see, which is not possible for them through the campus placement. Then enhance their employability. That is our main motive actually, because everybody is worried about the employability of the pass outs. So this is the medium through which they can be trained. The better, what we can say, the best of this scheme is that the employer did not have any compulsion to continue the candidate after 1 year of training. So that is the best thing of the scheme. So if the candidate is able to groom himself as per your expectation, you continue them. Otherwise, the scheme will say at the end of the training, the boy will be automatically get terminated. So there is no obligation towards the employer to continue the candidate. So that is the best of the scheme. And also, since you are making available all your training facilities to the guys, the government will also help you monetarily also. Maybe that amount is very little, but of course, when the time is very tough, this is the very tough time for the industries financially, of course. So in that period, at least, this reimbursement, we call it as, will definitely help to the industry. And every year, around 300 crores we distribute as a reimbursement to the various industries, 5,000 industries in western part. So this will be some benefits to the students. At the end of the training, see, basically, once the candidate is trained in the industry itself will not willing to relieve the candidate. So definitely, most of the candidates get absorbed in the same organization. And last year, we carried one survey for this absorption purpose, and we found that 99% students get absorbed in the same industry, with, of course, depending upon their capabilities. These are some benefits to the industries. First of all, this minimizes your employee hunting, because normally Board of Apprenticeship Training will provide all their services at the doorstep of our stakeholders, and industry is one of the stakeholders. So what we do, we will arrange pool campus for these boys. So like Ravandale sir or PCCO is one of the college where the pool campus will be organized every year, and we invite students from all Maharashtra here, and all industries from Maharashtra or probable employers basically. And here only the selection process will be completed, and at the end of the day, the candidate will get the offer letter, or for some further steps he can be invited. So this type of activities are arranged by the Board of Apprenticeship Training. So you will get collectively all the boys together. So you need not have to follow the candidates. We'll follow the candidate. You just have to give your requirements to us. So that way it is helpful to you. No, as I said, no obligation towards completion of the candidate. No need to absorb the candidate, depending upon your requirement, your performance of the candidate. If you feel, you can continue him, or otherwise the candidate get terminated at the end of training. Industry will get 1 year span to judge the candidate. So that is one of the, I can say, the best benefit of the scheme. The candidate will be under observation for 1 year. If it suit to your requirement, even attitudinal requirement, behavioral requirement, technical requirement, then only you continue him. So that is done. Then reimbursement of the stipendary share. Many of the industries are coming up with the great proposals. Like last year, I got a proposal from Cognizant Software Solutions that we need to hire around 12,000 apprentices across India. And we have fulfilled that. Because in case of lower level apprentices like blue collar apprentices, say ITI, etc., there is a specific ratio. But in our case, since we are an autonomous body, we have dropped it, And as per the willingness of the industry, we can provide them even excess quota also. Okay, and with the reimbursement and everything. Because, see, basically we are working for the betterment of the students, and if any industry is coming up with such a proposal, it will be definitely our responsibility to help them in getting the candidates. So that is their minimum documentation. Over the year, we need only 3 documentation. First, at the beginning, one contract registration card. In between claim or at the end claim, you can claim it quarterly, half yearly, yearly, the reimbursement claim. And at the end, we issue one certificate to that candidate. For that certification, we need your assessment. So over the year, only 3 documentation are required, and most of the documents are online now. So that is also, we are having a good web portal, which is online. Every industry who is, that industry is notified with the board, they are having their own web account on our web portal. We have given them ID. So through that ID and password, you can get your all the details through your account. So that is also there. Then definitely this system will create a pool of trained manpower. The person may not be suitable to you, but definitely he will be suitable to some other industry. So if he comes out from you, definitely he will go to some other industries. Like Tata Motors are doing that. Tata Motors every year they train around 500 plus apprentices, and at the end of the training, few of the apprentices get absorbed with the Tata Motors itself, and remaining will be absorbed by their vendors. And they arrange their campus interview in Tata Training Center itself. So all the TACO group companies and their vendors will come there. They get the trained people on the spot. So like many of the industries, they have started doing. Like Bharat Forge, they are having their own training center. And what they do, they will select BSc candidate. They will groom them. They will train them in technical issues or their technology, and then they allow them to complete their BE. So like that, many of the industries are supporting these apprentices in different way. These are some benefits to the institutes even, because the institutes, they are our hands basically, they are our eyes, because they will locate the industries, probable industries, they will communicate to us, and they will act our hands. Like today, Sheetal Kumar has done the great job here on behalf of Board of Apprenticeship Training. So this way, definitely, our motive of the institute is to get better placement, and definitely the Board of Apprenticeship Training can be a medium for getting better placement. You can achieve even 100% placement criteria. Few of the colleges in Mumbai, they applied this scheme for getting better placement. So whatever selected through the campus, that is okay. If they don't get selected through the campus, we have given them the list of industries where the seats for apprenticeship training are located. They have contacted them. Then again the pool campus was held, and all the boys from that college, they got selected by different industries, and at the end of the day, everybody was engaged. So like that, you can take the opportunity through this scheme. Now, what is our expectations from the institutes? Because industries are there, they are supporting us a lot in different manner, but we are lagging in getting the candidate itself. Many of the industries, they are coming up with the proposal that we need 100 people, we need 200 people as an apprentice, and we cannot provide them. Because we don't have a database of the candidates, and that database is with the TPO. And if the TPO is in contact with the board, definitely we'll forward our requirement to them, and the candidates can be sent to the various industries. So that way, if there is a proper communication between the TPO and board officer, it will be a based medium rather to place our student and to provide the trained manpower to the industry. So that is what we are expecting from you, to create the awareness of the scheme, then support the board activities, take part in various activities of the board, and forward your database to us. We are having an online enrollment facility for the students, but very few students they enroll because they don't know the facility of the enrollment. And this is the primary responsibility of the TPO to aware his students about the online enrollment. Once the database is available with us, we keep it on forwarding to the various industries. Daily, I am getting around 20 to 30 requirements from various industries. So that requirement, so as per the requirement of the industry, I can forward the database to them, and the industry can select the best candidates from that database. So this is basically a nature of working. So if I get the database, it will be helpful to the industry and myself and to the students also. So that way I am expecting something from you. And definitely visit our web portal. It's a interactive web portal. All the things are online. All the enrollments are online. Everything is online. Now, this is what the students but here students are not there, but at least TPU, you can take a note of this. You can go for the online enrollment. You can send the candidate to my placement section. We are having a very good placement section from where the candidate can be given on the spot. Call will be given for the industry. He can go to the industry and join for the apprenticeship training. So like that, the facility is there. But due to the lack of awareness, students doesn't come to us. So you take a note of this. Even we can arrange pool campuses at various locations. Pune, every year we go for the pool campus. Kolhapur, we every year go for the pool campus. Yesterday only at Satara, we had a pool campus there. So like that, our activities are continued, but we should get support from TPOs. These are the various activities this board is every year, or these are the concomitant activities we continuously carry out. For the betterment of the students, there is a career guidance program. It may be 2 or 3 days. We invite industry fraternity for this, and whatever we are lagging, basically, we have to find out the shortfall of our students, and accordingly, we'll invite the industry people and deliver the lectures for the betterment. Then, of course, some SDPs are organized in the industries where these candidates are working as apprentices. Like Tata Motors, every month, last Saturday, they arrange this supervisory development program for their ongoing apprentices. So every month Saturday, every month last Saturday, sorry. So like this, even they are ready to offer their training facilities for conducting such SDP for other industries also, because they are having a very good training center and trained facilities, faculties. So accordingly, this can be utilized by the others also. Even they have conducted training program for trainers. So we have invited some teachers from Solapur and Sangli to train there. So they conducted one-day training program. So like that also, industries are helping us. But institutes, they have to come forward with their proposals. Then pool campus we organize, industry-institute interaction, like today's we organize. Principal, this is the Maharashtra level industry-institute interaction. But normally we believe in regional level. So every district and wherever the industries are located, we arrange such type of industry-institute interaction meet. And there we invite even Pune or Mumbai-based industries to participate there so that they can get good trained people. Then some special camp, principal meets, etc. We regularly this thing. We are also working on the publicity of the scheme. So recently we have developed 14-minute video film. It's a documentary film. And we have picturized what these candidates are actually doing there. And Tata Motors and many of the industries, they took part in that. They have shared their technology. And the film is now under preparation actually. Draft copy is with me. Very soon, by 15 days, we'll get the final copy. This is what the database actually, this is on 31st of March, but right now that is more than 50,000, and our target is for next year, that is 14-15, it will be 1 lakh. So this is what we are expecting. The smiling faces of the selected candidates, that will definitely motivate us to work hard. And this is not possible because of, without the support of the industry as well as the institutes. So keep in touch with us. I think everybody, they knows me from the industry also, from the institutes also. So keep on calling me, put your all worries to me so that I could get some, I will work on that, and definitely the industry will help us to get the jobs. Okay, so thank you very much for giving this support and time to organize this meet. Thanks to Sheetal and Fulambarkar sir, they have organized this event. It's a terrific event for me also. And thanks again, Sheetal, for your support and cooperation.
Thank you, sir, for giving us the information about the board. Beyond the ceremonials, we wish to think we have together achieved the initial role we set for ourselves. That is, sharing our learning and learning from our sharing. We believe that we can also make a well-known motto of ours, together we can. We request everyone to please rise in the honor of our national anthem. Thank you. With this, we conclude Maharashtra State Conference on Industry Institute Interaction 2013. Thank you all for being the part of this wonderful session. We request everyone to please proceed for the lunch in the boys' mess near boys' hostel, and also collect your certificates from the registration counter, and please submit your feedback form at the same time. I request everyone to please collect their certificates and submit their feedback form at the registration counter.
Thank you all.